What is going on, guys? Welcome to a new series I'm doing right now. I noticed on the web there's plenty of videos on YouTube teaching people how to play Go, like at the rules set, but there's a very lacking area where they teach the beginners strategies where you start from zero, which is the ground up. I'm starting from the ground up. I'm gonna lay the foundation. If you want to learn how to play Go, this is not the rules. You gotta go YouTube it. There's plenty of videos on YouTube about how to play, actually how to play the rules and how to count score and stuff like that. That's not what this video or this series is about. This is a basic series where I'm going to start you from zero. So basically, you just learn the rule. Maybe you play like a couple of games and you want to learn the strategies, the basic strategy on how to approach this game. And I'm not going to talk about it on the smaller size board. I feel like you just need to jump in and start with the bigger size board. It's okay, don't be afraid. I know it can be pretty daunting, and there's a lot of strategies that goes into this game. The rules are real simple, but it really does take lifetimes to master this game. So I'm gonna start off the series here and illustrate a couple of basic concepts I feel like you should learn and instill into your mind about the game of Go that you need to know. So you can see here from the first thing on the list is in Go you start from the corner first. So when you see the opening of the game, usually you're gonna see this the players alternating and taking the corner first. Okay, after you take the corner and then you move to the sides like so, and then you start moving to the center at the last point. Okay, and there's a reason for this. I want to show you why you start in the corner is because it's more efficient to surround points in the corner. As you can see here, if black were to surround 9 points, so each one is 1 point, so this is 9 points. If black were to surround 9 points in the corner, it would take black seven stone to do so. And on the side, black would need a lot more stone to get 9 points, right? So why would you spend more stones, more turns? So that's why you start in the corner first, and then you move to the side. And then lastly, if there's any points left in the center, that's where you would play, because in the center you would need 17 stones to completely surround your 9 points in the center. So that's the first basic concept of Go is start in the corner, then the side, and then the center points. You want to surround the corner points first. So that's why during game you're going to see people play in the corner first. Most of the game, most of the time, professional and anybody who's kind of know what they're doing in Go will start at the corner first. So that's number one, basic concept, okay? I hope you get that. Pretty fairly easy concept. And number two is this type of stone you can play in the corner. As you can see, there's many ways you can play near the corner, which way to go. So I'm going to start off with this one first. It's the 3-3. The 3-3 doesn't take that much points into consideration in the corner, but it does emphasize that black does want the corner, right, to start here first. So you can start as the 3-3. That's one option. The second option is the 4-4. And what I mean by 4-4 is like on the grid it goes 4 this way and 4 this way. Okay, this is also a 4-4 stone here. So is this and so is that. Okay, so these are all 4-4 stones. So black starts with the 4-4 stone. The reason why this is different from the 3-3 is because it does leave an opening for white to come in and invade the corner. So black is prepared for this. So basically, what black's willing to do is trade the corner. So white gets the corner, 8 points in the corner, and black gets the outside. the outside influence, they would say. So that's the reason for this 4/4 stone versus this 4. So now white cannot invade in this situation because white would get killed here. So the 3/3 is like you really want the corner, and the 4/4 is like I want to play in the corner first, but you could invade if you want, and then I'll take the outside. Okay. So the happy middle in between those two stones is the 3/4. So 3 this way, 4 this way, or this is also a 3/4. So let's look at this 3/4. The 3/4 removes the invasion at the 3/3, like the 4/4 does earlier, but now now it does leave black very right side orientated. As you can see, this stone is closer to the right side, so it's going to help black develop the right side a bit more than the top side here. So if you pick to play this 4/4, this 3/4, I mean, then you're focusing more on the top side here rather than the right side. And then so you can also have wacky things like the 5/4 opening. This really emphasizes the top left here, right? And then so pretty much black is saying you can come in and invade at the 3/3, but what I'll do is like I'll take the outside influence. So you want to build a wall formation here while white takes the corner. But this is very rare to see. It is good play, but it's very rare. And then another option that you might see in game is the 5/6. A lot of people will play this also at times. This is pretty much leave the corner wide open, and black is emphasizing the center a little bit more. So this is getting a little bit off where you want to be. Most popular now because of AlphaGo nowadays, you're going to see the 4/4 and the 3/4. Usually you're going to see a combination of the two, so black will play a 4/4 and play a 3/4 down here in this other corner. Alright, so that's the type of corner moves you can play, start with. So far you want to play in the corner first, then the side, then the center, but in the corner you have option with the 3/3, the 4/4, and the 5/4, and the 5/6. And hopefully you guys kind of understand why the difference between those. Right, 3/3 is really points oriented, 4/4 is really influence orientated, and then 5/4 and 5/6 is also super influence orientated. I mean 5/4 and 5/6. Okay, and then so now you have something like this, right? Let's say black starts with a 4/4, white takes a 4/4 in the other corner, and then black takes the other corner with a 3/4, and then white takes the other corner with a 3/3. Okay, so that moves us into the third concept idea here, is the corner enclosure. So when you go in the corner first, then the next move, if your opponent allows you to, is to play the corner enclosure. And what that does is it removes the possibility of invasion. So now this corner is very secure, right? So white could also do the same thing with the 3/3, something like that, to kind of enclose it. So you can see the extension here, and then you can also have this is called a knight move from the, let's go back and look at each one actually individually. So let's look at the 3/4 first. So the 3/4 has this is called a knight. So if you play chess, it's an L shape here. So this is called a knight move. It's also called a shimari in Japanese. So this is a very secure corner enclosure. If your opponent try to invade something like that, your stone is close enough to where it can it can link up and capture this stone. Okay, so, and if he wants to go on the top, then you can also play here, and then this is also linked up. So the Samari, the corner enclosure with the small knight with from the 3/4 is very secure. What black could also have the option to do is to do the big knight, which is one further up. The big knight does secure more territory. It does build a longer framework, as you can see here. But now, as you can see, it is susceptible to some type of invasion in here now, right? So it's a trade-off. You get more bigger framework, but then you're also susceptible to more invasion. It's not as secure as the other one, as you can see here, right? You can't just close off white here. Like in this version, if white jumps in, you can just close off white, right? But in the big knight, so it's really up to you what you want to do. But I would say for beginners, just go ahead and play the small knight, because that's more secure, and usually you want to stay strong and go. So we're done with the 3/4, and then we're gonna move to the 4/4 up here. So the 4/4 does have a small knight also, corner extension, and it's the same as the other one. If white comes in trying to invade, you're close enough to your 2 stones where you can just cut them off like this, and then capture this with a ladder. A ladder is the most basic form of capturing in Go that you need to recognize. It's when you have a stone combination where white cannot run, and then you just run whites to the edge here and capture it. Okay, but this episode I'm not going to go over the ladder because it could become kind of complicated, so I'm just going to focus on the Shamari for now. Anyway, so if he goes on the top, then of course you can connect underneath as well. So that's the small knight. So as you can see, small knights are very secure. And the same thing with the 3/4 stones. With the 4/4 stone, you can also play a big knight. And the same thing as the big knight with the 3/4 is it's susceptible to, you cannot completely close out white to kill it here. So if you want a bigger framework, yeah, this will work, but I don't recommend it. For beginners, I'd say stick with the small knight, which is safer and more secure. And then from the 3/3, you can also play a knight move to like there to secure the strengthen the corner. I wouldn't say secure the corner, because the stone's pretty high and it does have a weakness here where black can slide in. But this does have help white secure the corner somewhat, either on this side or this side. So, and the same thing, you can also play a knight's move to from your stone corner stone to kind of enclosure it. This does have a lot of weakness too, compared to these big knights also. So that's basic corner enclosure. So, but most of the time in Go, sometime you can't corner enclose. So let's see, we're on the list here. Okay, so now we're in extension. Okay, so sometime after the corners are all taken, you could start playing on the side, right? So let's say black starts to play on the side here, and then white will extend from the corner to kind of attack this stone. And so now here, black will have a couple of, well, three option here. One is a one space extension like this. This is very secure. If white try to cut black stone, black can just Atari from the top, and the bottom is connected, right? So black would just have to play something like this, and then black is connected. All his stones connected with the I space at the bottom, so it's not a problem. But the problem with this extension, even though it's secure, it's not expanding fast enough like black is playing to gain like a few points. And so there's a better extension, which is the 2-space extension. So it does look kind of scary at first because you are farther away from your stone, but if you know how to defend from getting cut in this extension, then this will be a good extension for you instead of the 1 space here. So the 2 space is this much, and if white try to jump in and cut you off here, what you do is play a Hane move underneath. A Hane is when you lean onto your opponent's stone, but you're not connected to your other stone, okay? So you could also Hane at the top, but that's not going to give a good result. You want to Hane at the bottom, and if white play like this, then now you're connected to your stone. See, white can't cut you here because you can Atari, and then you can just capture the stone. It's the same thing over here. If he try to cut you here from the second line, you could just Atari, and he can't escape. Okay? And if he does something like, instead of extending like that, and if he does something like this, then you can just play here to Atari him, and he has to save his stone, and then you can just connect here. And then here, now this stone is captured, so therefore your group is connected. If he try to move this stone, you can play here, and if he plays here, try to escape, you can Atari. He Ataris you, but then you can capture him. And so your stone is very safe in this 2-space extension here. So that's how you defend your 2-space extension, and that's why you should do a 2-space extension, because 1 space is a little bit slow, and you don't want to be too slow because you're going to fall behind. So, and the third option is a little bit more brave, which is the 3-space extension. Now, this one's a little bit harder to defend versus the 2-space and the 1-space, but it is a little bit more faster. The weakness here would be this invasion here, but what you can do is trade. You can play this combination to trade the bottom, the left side, let white live on the left side, and you connect on the top side. So here's this combination. What you do is you would attach to the stone at the bottom like this, and then now white has 2 options. Well, white has a few options. If white pulls back like this, you can pull back the same, and if white does something like that, now you're connected, right? He can't cut you here because you can Atari him towards the side. He can't cut you on this side either because you can Atari him on the side. So now you're safely connected underneath. So your group is connected, so you're safe. Another option for white to do is Hane. As you can see, this is a Hane move also. So what you do in this case is you would cut white into 2, and then white would have to Atari here, okay? If white doesn't Atari here, and white plays something like that, you can connect underneath, and then now all your stones are connected. This side is you can't cut, and if he try to run this stone, you can just play here, and then Atari him, okay? So, what white has to do in this situation is play this Atari move, and then you would counter Atari him, and then white would have to connect here, and you would play here, and your stone would be connected towards the top. So white has to try to live this stone first, and then after white does that, you can Atari here, he'll capture, and then you can play a tiger mouth to connect all your stones. So now all your stones are connected, and you have a lot of influence. So just be aware that if you do a 3-space extension like this, there is an invasion here. So for beginners, I recommend a 2-space extension. It's fairly easy to defend, and it's not too slow like the 1-space extension. Okay. And then let's move from to number 5 is extension from the corner. So let's say after you have the corner enclosed like that, what's the best move to play after this? So let's say each player have enclosed their corner. The next move would be the extension from your Shamari, from your knight's enclosure, right? So you would want to extend here because now you have a thick wall here, right? Basically, this stone formation makes a big wall to let you extend all the way out here. So you can play all the way towards the center and to extend and build the Moyo framework. And then white can do the same thing. White can also play towards the center like that because of this wall here, formation here. So as you can see, both sides are starting to develop a framework somewhat. And then here, the same thing, you can also extend here from this Samari to here, okay? And then after the extension out, the next move would be playing towards the center to develop your framework even further, right? So black best move would be jumping here, right? So now you have the corner, you start at the corner, you extend out to the middle, and then the next best move, all the middles are taken, you jump out towards the corner and start building a little framework here, see? So you're trying to get this, so white would do the same, and to jump up here and start developing the framework here, all right? So this is the best case scenario for development for a game, but sometimes your opponent's not going to let you do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to defend against a corner approach. So most of the time, your opponent's not gonna let you develop your corner approach first. So here, black would just prevent white from making the corner enclosure, right? So to defend from the 3-4, you have a lot of options. You can either form your knight move from this way and start developing here to counter, and then next black would probably pull back, and then you can enclose the corner, something like that. If black tried to slide in, then you would play here to defend the corner, and then black will pull back. And this is called a josuke, which is a balanced formation where both sides are equal, okay? I can go into the pincer and stuff right now, but I don't want to do that. I just want you to be able to defend your corner. So that's how you defend from the 4-4, and then from the 3-4 though, let's say when the 3-4 white would approach here or here. There's a lot of approach, but the typical popular approach is from here. And what you can do here is you can pull back with the knight move, similar to the other defense. And then there's going to be a combination of plays here where you can, it's a little tricky to explain here at the beginning series, so I'm not going to explain it, but just know for now you can pull back with the knight move, and that will make your corner pretty safe for now. You can also, if they approach here, you can also play the knight move underneath like this, and then the continuation would be this, and this is also a josuke. So both sides very balanced. Blacks get the corner and white gets the side, and both shapes are pretty strong. So right now, don't worry about josuke and stuff. Just remember where to play in the corner, and your extension, you want to keep it tight, the 2-space extension, so you can defend it fairly well. And you also want, if you can, extend from your corner and then move towards the side. Alright, and then so from the 3-3, black can approach like here. So what you can do is play here, the 1 space or the 2 space. Either way is fine to defend against the approach. And now if black does something like this on the 3-4, then you should push and keep on pushing, and then that's gonna make your corner alive, and you don't have to worry about anything else. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna end it here for the first episode of this beginner series, and then the next one I'm gonna start advancing the technique and stuff. So to quickly review, the idea behind this video is 1, you start at the corner first, then you try to enclose your corner, and then move towards the side, and then the center, okay? And there's different type of corner moves you can play: the 3-3, the 3-4, the 4-4, the 5-4, and 5-6. And the outer variation of those moves you don't want to focus on. Just stick with the 3-4 and the 4-4. The 3-3 I don't even recommend because that's a little. It's more type of more advanced idea. You can apply to that later on, but it's kind of slow for beginners, so I wouldn't recommend it. And then after you enclose your corner, just make sure you move to the side. And basically, if you keep these idea in mind, you're way ahead of everybody else, and then you should start be winning some games after that. Okay, so keep your shape simple so you can defend it, and don't try to play weak stone. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the first episode of this series, and I will start trying to maybe make 3 or 4 this weekend on this subject matter for beginners, and then hopefully there'll be some stuff for beginners to where to start to play Go, because I know there's a lacking of beginner strategy. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next episode.